Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name's Mohsin Mahmood. I am a chartered accountant in Indian and Wales, and I am joined with SN Mahmood. He too is a chartered accountant in Indian and Wales. We both are basically ICW corporate reporting and strategic business management teaching. We are here today to discuss about ICW Pathways. Uh, ICW Pathways is basically a route that is being given by the institute for those experienced individuals who would like to get ICW membership. This is not your traditional route in which you have to take papers and pass an examination as you would normally through an academic route. This is more of, in a way, you have to prepare a thesis in which you have to highlight your experience and your employment through which you can gain membership. ICW Pathways is basically a route, is an option that is given by ICW not routinely, right? So there are limited durations in which you can actually apply for ICW pathways. Today's session is going to be more of an informative session, and we would like that if you have any questions with regard to ICW pathways, you can put it in the chat box, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. We hope that this session will help you in passing your examination with regard to pathways. Okay, so how to approach the examination of experience? Who is this route for? We're going to be going over these main topics. Firstly, who is this route to membership for? What do you have to do to apply? What is the examination of experience? Examiner tips. Look at each question, the questions in itself, the benefits of the membership, and key contacts. So, who is this route to membership for? This is for ICAP members and ACCA members who have post qualification 5-year experience, and they need to be full members, right? So, as an example, you are an ACCA member, you were an ACCA affiliate, you completed your 3 years articleship, you became ACCA member, then you need to have 5 years further experience in order to be eligible for this route. Likewise, ICAP members need to have 5 years post qualification experience. That may be in the firm, that may be in an industry. And you must have gained this through normal education and training route, right? You must have a good disciplinary record. You must be compliant with your CPD. You must be a member in good standing. There shouldn't be any case against you. And you will need to have a suitable sponsor. I'll get into this detail further.
Here, I would just like to add the difference between coming through this route and what is done previously. What is basically the benefit and what is the different routes that one can apply. For example, if you are an ACC affiliate, you can go towards getting the exemptions in professional stage and going towards the advanced stage and taking the papers and doing your training contract in an audit firm. For coming in this route, an ACC affiliate would be better suited to passing the advanced stage examinations and gaining the ICAW qualification. This route is specifically designed for those individuals who are basically full members and are in the industry and have post-qualification experience as per the criteria mentioned in the slides, and then they can apply through this route towards ICAW membership.
Right. So you need to obtain a letter of good standing from your respective institute, right? So if you want to go into ICW pathways, what you will need is you need a letter of good standing from either ACCA or ICAP. And that letter of good standing should be highlighting that you're a current member, the date you were admitted, you have a good disciplinary record, you came through normal education and training, you're fully compliant with CPD requirement, and it must be issued dated within 3 months before the submission of the deadline, which is the most important aspect of all, right? So you need to obtain a fresh letter of good standing. In case you already have one, you need one more, which should be more than 3 months before the submission deadline date. You must have a suitable sponsor for this, right? So ICW Pathways for it, like I said, you need to be a ACCA or an ICAP member having more than 5 years of post membership experience. You need to have letter of good standing. You need to have a good sponsor. Now, who is a sponsor? A sponsor is any person who actually knows the applicant, right? It could be your manager, it could be your colleague. He must be a qualified ACCA, ICAP, ICAW member, any one of them, right? Not all of them. So he must be either an ACCA member, an ICAP member, an ICW member, or a member of any body which is a full member of IFAC. He must be a member coming through the normal education and training route. Again, this is important, right? So if you know a colleague who is an ICAEW coming through the pathway route, he may not be a suitable sponsor in this case. He must have good disciplinary record and he must be compliant with the normal CPD. So, what do you need to apply? You have to register as a student, as a pathway candidate on ICW website. If you're unsure how to do it, you can contact us or you can contact ICW directly and we'll help you out in that respect. What you need to do is you will need to answer the question in what is called an examination of experience, right? In a very literal meaning, it means that the ICW is going to check where you were, what you were doing, and whether what you were doing is good enough for you to become an ICW member, right? So it's an examination of your experience. So it's not very difficult. If you are a person in the industry and you've been working for quite some time, you're an ICAP member or an ACCA member, this is a good opportunity for you to get the ICW through Pathways, right? Sponsors, they must read through your application and examination. Your colleague, your manager, who knows you, who is a member of this IPAC, full member, ICW, ACC, they must be reading through this as well. You must submit all the documents online before the deadline. We'll get into the deadline dates as well. And you need to pay an administration fee of £300, which is non-refundable. So this is the submission entry open date, right? So from 16 December 2021 onwards, the submission entry is open in which you can submit your application and will be closing on 17 Feb 2022. Your exam will be result date will be announced on the 12th May 2022. This is the first timeline, right? And the second timeline will open in 13 July 2022 and ending on 2nd September 2022. When I started, I told you this is an opportunity that comes sometimes. This is not normally what ICW offers. ICW normally offers through the academic route, right? This is an opportunity for the ICAP members, for ACCA members who've been in the industry for a long time, and they're looking to get an international accreditation, right? ICW is the most prestigious accounting body, and I have many friends who have come in through this route, and they're pretty proud of it. There is one very important thing. There are maximum 4 attempts, right? So you need to get your first attempt the right attempt in order to pass this examination of experience. So you have 4 attempts, right? But I only showed you two timelines, right, in which you can submit your examination of experience. So there are 4 attempts, but if ICW does not wish to extend or give another opportunity for pathways, that means you will no longer be eligible to appear for the pathways again, right? So you only have these two timelines, these two opportunities, and 2 attempts per se. If ICW extends their pathway policy, then you will have the other 2 attempts. Pathway remains open until further notice. It is subject to annual review, right? So this year you have two. So examination of experience is going to be based on your past achievements, experience. It's not really difficult, right? If you're in the industry, you're working as a, say, a company secretary, you're working as a CFO, you're working as a functional consultant, you're working as a finance director, you're working as a tax manager, right? It could be any role. You have to basically explain your experience, right? You have to show your achievements, you have to show your experience, you have to show you have the analytical skills that are required to become an ICW member. You need to show the ethical awareness and the professional judgment. They will also be checking your quality of thought, right? And they will be also checking your awareness of current and technical issues. So basically, it's a very comprehensive way of testing someone's capability. There are going to be two parts of your examination of experience. The first part is going to be comprising in which you will be reflecting on your experience and achievement. This usually comprises of 5 questions. And there will be a part two, which is going to be summary of your employment for the last 5 years. You will be highlighting and cross-referencing your experience to your employment history. Usually, it's a document which will be around 6,000 words. It'll be having 500 words per question, right? 100 marks are available and 55 marks are needed for a pass. If you get 55 marks, you will be able to pass examination of experience and ultimately calling yourself as an ICW member. There's some tips from the examiner. There are resources available at your disposal on the ICW's website in which you can get a thorough understanding of what is required, including the past scripts. You can also, so like I was saying before, it all depends upon your work experience. So in the past 5 years, you need to highlight or you need to figure out what is the experience that is critical for you to pass the ICW pathways. That is the key. What is the experience that you should be highlighting in your ICW pathways? And the way you present it, the way you explain it, will ensure that you pass or you fail ICW pathways, right? So that is the critical thing. The way you present it, the way you tell that experience, that is going to be the key. I already told you need to cross-reference it, right? So, for example, one of my friend works in a steel company, right? He works as a company secretary, and he highlighted his experience. He has in the past 5 years he had a lot of experience, but he highlighted that specific experience which led him to pass that examination. These are the questions which are asked by ICW. I will not be going over each and every question, but these are the 5 questions that are being asked. And like I said, they basically identify the business, professional issues. You need to tell your technical expertise, your business knowledge. You also need to explain the numerical techniques that you use to analyze the business and professional situation. You have to show your professional judgment, how you applied it, how you used it. You have to explain the work experience, the technical knowledge that you have, the practical experience that you've developed for any advisory that you've done. And lastly, you have to also highlight the ethical issues that you may have dealt with and how you responded to it. When you're submitting your application for pathways, right, you cannot register and submit the application on the same day. So you must do it beforehand. Like I said, you can contact ICW directly. You can contact us if you require any guidance with regard to your submission. You have to follow the required template of examination of experience. So that's very important, right? It doesn't mean that there is no template for it. So there is a template which you can download from ICW's website. If you have any issues in downloading, you can contact us. We tell you what the format is. There are going to be 5 questions in it. They're going to be a performer where you can highlight your employment. You have to follow that template, right? And that template is what you're going to be uploading. Any incomplete applications will not be processed. And it is advised that you should submit your application early, right? Because uh, at the deadline date, the website tends to get slow. Being an ICW, like Sir Essen said, there are two ways, right? One is the academic route, one is the pathways route. The academic route, if you are an ACC affiliate, that means you're a qualified ACC affiliate, 3 years of articleship, and then 5 years. You need post qualification experience. 8 years is what's going to take you to become an ICW member through pathways. That's one route. The other route is you're already in practice. It's been 10 years, 15 years, right? And you want to add value to yourself. You can come through ICW to path. It's not an ordinary achievement. Believe me, I know a lot of qualified chartered accountants from other bodies. I know many professionals who have gone through this route, who have taken these credentials, ICAEW, and they proudly tell themselves as ICAW members. This is a highly influential and respected professional body in the world. It connects with a wider global community of financial experts. This is the most interesting and rewarding opportunities at every stage of your career. You can gain access to world leading information resources, technical guidance, member offers and discounts, advisory services, and local member networks. If you have any questions with regard to ICW pathways, if you have any questions, any doubts on how to approach the examination of experience, if you have any doubt on any specific aspect with regard to the question, or with regard to whether you are eligible for this scheme or not, don't hesitate to contact us. If you have any questions, I would love to take them on.
Okay, so just to sum up everything, because we don't have further questions as of now. So, like Sir Mohsen explained, that there are two ways to become an ICAW member. Uh, One way is through the normal education route, whereby you are an ACC affiliate, you go towards your training, and simultaneously you also go towards ICW qualification, targeting that you pass through the advanced stage and become an ICW member. The other route is through the pathways route, and be it anybody, the pathway route will take about 8 years for you to become eligible for it. And like Sir Mohsen explained, that this is something which is renewed every year. So you can't be sure if this is going to be there 8 years from now. So this opportunity is available right now, and we would advise that you should become part of this prestigious body. Thank you.
Okay, I think we've covered everything. Uh, Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us or contact ICW with regard to your questions, and we'll be happy to answer any queries which you may have. Thank you so much, everyone.